how to improve your life. So it's a pretty deep subject here, but something I just want to share with you guys because as you guys were here, and I really appreciate, it was my birthday yesterday. So thank you guys. We had some questions around the cake, and you guys asked me some questions, and I was like, hey, I just realized at that point, like, hey, like, I feel great, Some people are like, oh no, I'm getting old. This sucks. Like, it is true, time is limited. But I feel, hey, I'm like, never been in better shape. I feel more energized. I could outwork myself when I was 20 years younger. And I just feel more motivated. And my head is more clear. Just in every way, I feel like physically and emotionally great. Like, it's just, and then I think Diana said, like, yeah, your 40s are like your 20s. I was like, no, it's like way better than your 20s. Like at 20s, I was making so many mistakes, like the same mistakes too. And I was like, not learning from them. I was like, looking back, I was like, people think like it's all downhill. Like people say like, once you get 30, it's all downhill. Or once you have kids, it's all downhill. It's like, these are like not true. And I just want to bring some optimism in how you could feel like as you get older, like you're actually excited. So that's kind of the stuff I want to talk to you guys about. So how do you improve your life? We're going to go back to our core principles. What's number one?
Work hard.
Work hard. That's right, Ricardo. Perfect thing for you to say. So I was thinking like, sometimes when it's your birthday, you kind of look back and you're like, how do I get my work ethic from? Or where did I get it from? So I do want to share with you guys that when I was 11 years old, I loved basketball. And everybody at school was a Laker fan, Magic Johnson fan. I talked about it in the last meeting, but I'm always different. I always want to like not do the same thing everyone else is doing. So I was a Jordan fan. And I played basketball, and Air Jordans were very hot. So this is kind of giving you guys a story of like where I got my love for these shoes are from. So I asked my mom, and she was very nice, but she didn't spoil me. It was very difficult for her to just buy me something out of the blue. But I told her I really want these shoes. I really, really want them. But they're like most expensive shoes you could buy anywhere, right? And I still remember that day when I got my first pair of Air Jordans. I was 11 years old, went to the local mall, and it was expensive, like for me at that time. And I was like, wow, you're really gonna buy this for me? I still remember that. And I actually found a picture of that.
Oh.
Air Jordan 5s. All right, and then I still remember that day. And from that, I was 11 years old. Every single year, she kept on buying me a pair of Jordans. One pair every single year. And, but when I finished high school, she completely cut me off, right? I mean, obviously, like, you can't be a grown man and like be asking for like shoes from your parents all the time. So when I graduated high school, these are the pair, by the way. They came out again, so I had them, so I just want to share with you. So I thought like, you know what? I'm so used to getting Air Jordans. I want to keep buying them. I want to keep owning them in college. So I was like, I had to figure out a way because I can't ask my mom to buy me shoes anymore. So I thought, hey, what do I need to do? So I applied at Chick Sporting Goods in Tustin Marketplace, and they sell Jordans there. I was like, hey, if I work there, then I could probably get a discount. And I did. I applied there, and they gave me the job. And I didn't even know this because I didn't care. I was working on like some Japanese takeout restaurant, and I just went there. So I didn't even care what to pay. I just said, I just wanted to work here so I could look at shoes, and then on my next paycheck, just spend it all on shoes. And it just happened that job was a commission job. Like, it was no base. It was crazy. It was like a draw, minimum wage versus how many sales. And then I said, hey, this is freaking awesome. I used to have a Post-it, and I used to write down $90, $50. Like every time I sell something, I just write it down, and then I would just hustle. And they had a leaderboard, and I would be so into that. I would look at it, and I was playing basketball at that time, so I had a lot of energy. So every person that came in here, I was beating everybody to them. Hey, how can I help you? And then they would say like, I don't need a size 9 on that. I would just literally run back there, and then there was a huge warehouse, and I would climb all these stairs to grab the pair, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get them a 9. 9.5 of this one, and I'm gonna get a 9.5 of New Balance just to see which one they like. I'll come back with 4 boxes, and they'll be like, damn. And then I was just lace them up real quick, give it to them. And I was hustling, and I was like, And I was just able, I knew the new Jordans were coming out. So as new Jordans were coming out, I was like, you know what? I want to get that one, so I want to make more money. At the end of the day, I'll be so tired. And I'll look at my post-it, I'll count it all up, and I think I made like 5% of it, 5.5%. And coming out of that job, looking at my post-it, it was like a feeling that I got addicted to that. Like I still have it. Like after every day of work, I want to feel like, damn, I worked hard. And that feeling like never went away. I feel that's where I got my work ethic from. So core principle number one, once again, is to work hard to improve your life. I don't know, for some reason, it's just, I always want to have that feeling after every single day of work. I want to feel like I was productive, I made money. And so in a way, I want to thank my mom for buying me that first pair of Jordans. This is just recently. To me, when I look at Jordans, it like represents like the love my mom had for me. Like it reminds me of that first day she bought me those Jordans. And then it represents the lesson it taught me. It's like hard work, what it works. So the moral of the story, for those of you who have kids, buy them stuff.
Cut them off at
cut them off at 18. So spoil them while they can. At 18, stop it, because they'll figure out a way to get what they want. Because they're used to getting what they want. And I think that's a good thing. But then you can't just keep spoiling them. You just have to cut them off and then make them work for it. So that's something that I learned. And that work ethic is something that I hope you guys have too. Working hard, feeling good about it, and then getting what you guys want. All right, core principle number 2 is?
Be kind.
Be kind, that's right. All right. So this is another thing my mom taught me. Is one thing to work hard and buy yourself Jordans, all right? So I kind of accomplished that, and I, also got the car I really wanted at that time. And I was working hard, pays off. I really learned that lesson. But that's level 1. But to improve your life, I think it's also important to feel useful, and that's by helping others. And the way I want to frame this on this meeting is to serve others. This is a huge way to improve your life. I think the greatest salespeople or the greatest people that do any business are, one level of motivation is like, I'm gonna work hard for myself. The next level is like, I really wanna serve other people. Like if you're on the phone with somebody, it's different, it's more sustainable. You're like, I really wanna help this person get insurance, rather than I just wanna take from that person. And the best employees also are the ones like, I really want to serve this company. I really want to help this company. Not the ones that I just want to take everything I can from this company. And for me, I made that switch a while ago, and I just want to let you guys know that I'm here to serve you guys. Okay? I'm always thinking, how can you guys make more money? Okay? How can I motivate you guys? That makes sense within the profitability of the agency. And how can I serve more customers? We're helping them, right? Like we're not like, we want to have more customers. I want to serve more customers. I want to serve more employees. I think when you get to that mindset, it really improves your life, because the more you serve others, the more valuable you become. So it really reciprocates. And the more valuable you become, I think we could all say that improves your life. All right, so life is not just about taking. It took me a long time to understand it, but it's about giving. And serving is something that will help you guys improve your life. So think about who you can serve. Well, next time you get on the phone, really think about them. Okay, really think about, how can I help this person? It's going to really improve your life. All right, core principle number 3 is positive attitude. All right, believe you can improve your life. Again, I talked about it before. When people say like, oh, it's over after you have kids, or it's over after 30, or it's over after 40, it's over it's over because you didn't go to school, or it's over for us because we're this skin color. It's like, these are just like, it's just brainwashing you. Okay, it just doesn't make sense. It's just like, no, believe that you have control. Like Chris said, you have control over improving your life. That's like, as fundamental as it sounds, people actually don't believe that. So it's very important to believe that you can improve your life. All right, so on the flip side, I want to also add here, okay, if you aren't getting happier as you get older, like, you should believe that your life can improve. But if it doesn't, like it's almost like you should. It should be getting better. Like you should improve yourself. If you're longer here at your job, you should be getting better, right? Do you guys agree? Like you should be getting better. And as you get older, you should know how to make yourself happier. You should know what makes you healthier. You should also know how to make more money. Like if you aren't getting happier, and these you could replace this word with better, happier, making more money, then you're doing it wrong. Like every single birthday, you should be happier. I fundamentally believe in that. Like if you're not, as you're getting older, things are getting worse for you, you're doing something wrong. Okay, so I just want to share with you guys that that's something I kind of realized yesterday. I was like, wow, like I'm actually happier now than I was before. And people say that's not how it should be. People are like, oh, birthdays suck. Like I don't want to have my birthday. It reminds me of how old I'm getting. It's like, well, no, I'm enjoying it because I feel like I'm improving as we go. All right, so how to be happier, recap here. Work hard, serve others, have a positive attitude. And to sum up this meeting with 2 words, the way I would say to improve your life and be happy is to go for relentless improvement. Like when you're always constantly trying to improve, that's how life improves. And for you guys personally, if you guys are improving, it's in my best interest to get you guys to improve. Like I want you guys to be improved because it makes you happy, it makes you, provide for your family. But if you guys improve, then DKI improves. So I see that we are improving. January, February, we are improving. And for that, I want to say thank you for helping me be the happiest I ever been at age 46. All right, I love you guys. Thank you guys. Let's get it.